Hello everyone, and nice to see you again. If you are new on my YouTube channel, you can click on subscribe so that you can receive all the videos I post in here. Today I am going to talk about a topic that it's of great concern for all of us, namely how can we access the potential of infinite creativity that awaits us to basically reshape our lives and mostly get in tune with our infinite potential. You may have heard it before from many other books or spiritual people that you have an infinite power upon your life, that you have the power to change your life. So many people ask me many times, and I get this question a lot, how can you very practically do this leap of faith? How can you change your life for the better, but in such a way that you feel this change in everything that you do, so that it's not just a, let's say, theoretical change. It's not just something that you read and then you just forget to act upon it, so it doesn't have any value whatsoever. And when we talk about potential and infinite and creativity, we talk about what we are, because we are infinite beings who have this potential and who have this power to access this potential. But in the way of accessing this potential, in many times of our life, we get to encounter a lot of things that do not belong to us. What does this mean? For example, I get to encounter as a human being the environment in which I was grown. I get to encounter my own fears. I get to deal with my traumas, and many traumas are related to a part of me that I have no knowledge of, because a lot of trauma is happening in the part of my subconscious mind, so that I am not always aware about what is happening with me. I don't always know where am I headed. So in these moments, it is extremely important to access this potential. Why? Because when I have access to the potential of infinite creativity, whatever choice I make, it is the right choice for me. Why? Because this infinite creativity, it's where I stand as a spirit and not only as a human being. And even as a human being, I have this power of choosing what is best for me. But this choice has to be made from this space of acknowledging my existence as a multidimensional being. When I think of myself, if I ask you now who you are, you will probably think that I am a man, I am a woman, I am somebody's daughter, I am somebody's son, I am somebody's wife. So your identity is very linked. It's extremely connected to the role you get to fulfill in the society, in your family, in the profession that you have right now. But that part of your identity, although it's a very important part of who you are, it's not exactly what determines what you are feeling. It's not what determines what is happening with you on the long term, because that identity can be lost. You can get fired. Your child can stop talking to you, although you will always be his or her parent. But still, you may get to encounter a crisis of identity where you do not get to perform the role you used to perform. And this happens when we have a divorce or when we have a breakup. Even breakups, they trigger a lot of feelings regarding this identity, because I get to lose a very important part of myself. And that part of myself, that part of my identity, is what I identify myself with. Hence, it's extremely important, because I get to have certain behavior, certain mindset, certain priorities connected to that specific identity. And what happens when I lose this kind of identity is that I feel lost. I feel empty. I feel that I have no purpose. And in one way, I am right. A very big part of my purpose has been lost. But what I don't acknowledge immediately when this crisis happens is that losing one part of my identity enhances me to get back to the source and to get back to this infinite stream of creativity. Now, creativity doesn't only mean to paint something. It doesn't only mean to do your makeup. Creativity doesn't mean to express yourself in a creative manner, although it also means this. Creativity is about your power to let yourself live your life free of any attachments, of any fixed identities that prevent you from experimenting yourself. So I'm going to give you an example. If I think of myself that I am a young woman, almost in my early 30s, let's say, I may be tempted to see myself through what society wants me to be. I may be tempted to hear people talking if I am too fat, or if I wear too much makeup, or if I am married, or if I am not married, or if I have children, or if I don't have children. And so I may get the idea that I need to construct for myself a certain identity that fits other people's expectations so that I get to feel validated, to feel happy. Thing which is not true, because when I get to make up this identity just to fulfill a role, just to fulfill other people's expectations, what I'm basically doing is that I put an end to this infinite stream of creativity, and I say to myself, I am only this. I am only this woman. I am only this man. I am only this employee. I am only this part of my family. And this not only limits my potential, but it also gives me the wrong idea that I have to be something in order to achieve anything. And also it gives me the wrong idea that I have to comply with certain standards to reach my potential. And these standards are not my standards. They are the standards that have worked for other people. So creativity is about your capacity of staying present in your life and of seeing exactly which are your priorities right now and which is your identity. And also it's about letting your identity be redefined in any aspect of your life and in any stage of your life. Because when I go through a breakup, when I go through a divorce, I may be tempted to say that I am sad, that I am not worthy, and that maybe I will not get what I have just lost. Maybe I am scared because I'm thinking this part of me that was attached to this identity, maybe I will never recover it. Thing which is not true, because whatever I have lost, if that thing was meant for me, if that thing was helping me growing, I will definitely get that thing from the past and transform it into my present, and I will still use it. And how is this happening in the case of a breakup or a divorce or of losing your job? Well, you just get that experience and all the emotions and all the thoughts that you had attached to your previous identity. And if you are not bitter or angry, or if you are not blocked in the past, you would just reuse everything, but with the purpose of building yourself a new identity. And this new identity is an improved one. Why? Because you got the lessons from the past, but you were able to let go the past, and so you can build the future. And the future can only happen when I am open, when I am happy with whatever happened, and when my mind doesn't try to tell me what is good and what is bad for me, because I am taking both sides, good and bad, and I am making the most of them so that I can see who I am, what I want, and where I stand. And during our life, we need this potential. We need this infinite potential of creativity, and we need to let this infinite potential to shape our lives, because otherwise I will get to experiment only a small part of who I am. I am not only someone's daughter or someone's son. I am not only attached to a certain identity that concerns my social role or that concerns my financial duties. I firstly am an infinite spirit of light that gets to experiment this human life the way I choose to do it. And if I get to think that my role or the context of my life prevails in front of who I am truly, if I get to believe more in that very specific role that I get to perform than in myself, then I will have a problem, because whenever that role will be lost, I will feel lost. So this is why I need to be on this incredible part of myself of infinite creativity, so that I can let myself be transformed. And how do we access this potential of creativity? Firstly, I need to let go. I need to let go of the past. I need to let go of ideas that hurt me. I need to let go of toxic people, no matter how much it hurts. I need to let go of people who don't love me, although I love them. If someone doesn't want to be a part of my life, I need to let that person go. Why? Because that person is paving the way for the new person that is going to enter into my life. And I cannot access this potential of creativity. I cannot access this infinite stream of creativity that is running through my body every single second of my life if I don't let go of whatever has been of great use for me, but right now is a consumed emotion, is a consumed thought. It's something that has ended, and it's something that I am going to reuse, but in another shape, in a future experience. Secondly, creativity, it's about letting yourself be who you are right now without losing sight of who you want to be. For example, I can be aware of my shortcomings right now. I can be aware that I have certain issues, but I don't blame myself for those issues. I don't say, you are bad at this, you don't have money, you don't have a family, you are not good at this, there are other people that are doing better than you. No, I can simply acknowledge these shortcomings, and I can enjoy the good things about myself, the things that I like, while I am working on those things that I want to change. So creativity, it's about accepting yourself for who you are, but at the same time letting yourself be shaped by whatever happens to you during this lifetime. Thirdly, creativity, it's about being open to new experiences, to new people, to the unknown. I cannot be a creative person if I am in my comfort zone, not wanting to meet new people, not wanting to try new experiences, fearing failure. Failure is just a way of how it is not working for you, of how something didn't work for you. But also, failure means that it was not the right time for me to do something, and maybe the next time I can fail better and I can learn much more, and so I will succeed in whatever I'm doing, just for the fact that I have that precious experience that I, of course, label as something that failed me. Fourthly, creativity, it's about unconditional love and unconditional compassion and support for those around you. If you want to activate this creative power in yourself, which better way to do this than activate this in other people, encouraging other people, saying I love you to other people, supporting other people. This opens the stream of infinite potential for you, and so you can live in your spirit because you are connected to this incredibly lively vibration of other people. And so when you get to connect yourself as a spirit with other spirits, you gain a lot of information, and this from an emotional point of view, from a mental point of view, and you get to experiment with yourself. You get to know exactly which are your limits, where are you headed, and most importantly, what is the specific thing that makes you a human that you enjoy to be with. Because if you don't enjoy your presence, it is impossible to be creative. Also, creativity means to be more focused on the good side of things than on the bad side of things. Creativity, it's about taking every day for whatever it means for you right now. And also, it's about taking things step by step. Creativity, it's not, I want to have these things in the next period, and if I'm not going to have them, I will be sad. It's about, I will do whatever I can to have these things, and if I want, this is perfectly fine, because I know that I use my energy to discover myself. I am loving this process, and when you love what you do, immediately this creative force opens for yourself. And yes, to be creative, you need to be vulnerable. You need to go through a lot of moods. You need to do a lot of attempts, but also everything that regards this new dimension of yourself, where you identify yourself as the creator of your own life, this actually enhances your human experience, and it makes you deal with any problems and any issues that you have in a way that does not hurt you, that does not put you down, that does not make you feel that you are powerless. And creativity means that I am creating what I am experimenting every second of my life, through my thoughts, through my emotions, through my vibrational frequency. And then I am not living in fear, because I know that I am the only person that has control upon what happens. And what happens is a direct result of whatever I am thinking, I am feeling, and whatever I am hoping to get from myself. Because when I am creative and when I am open to who I really am, and I'm open to my spirit, I get to experiment the best of myself, and I get to experiment this in the interactions with other people, in the interaction with myself, and mostly in the way in which I am feeling every day of my life.